Hello everyone, what is going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to the TNT podcast.
Episode
with a number.
Yeah, I didn't check the number. Whoops.
Who
But
gives a shit?
even without the number, it's still a TNT podcast with your three hosts and only three hosts, because reasons. So,
Damn.
It's in the name.
well, yeah, it's back to the old school. On my right
It's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
and left,
Just the Tyler guy, just me.
Just Tyler.
it's me.
Just
It's me, your boy.
Your boy. Your boy, let's go. Let's fucking go. Hey.
God.
Oh, wait, it's actually episode 150.
Nice.
Oh, would you look at
One,
that?
150. What a nice number to talk about a particular topic first.
Only 6 more recordings until we have 3 years worth of episodes, as if we were doing a weekly podcast.
Oh,
man.
God. What the fuck is this? We've been doing this shit too long.
Podcast
right? It's also-
150. That was the number.
No, oh, my God.
Grand
Yeah,
finale.
no, this is it.
Well, maybe when we talk about what we've all been up to in the last 2 or 3 weeks, maybe I'm done for good.
Yeah, for real.
Anyway, we do have a podcast. We actually have a bunch of news built up since we have been gone for an extra week.
Yeah, some
And
cool stuff.
a lot of things have happened in the world in the last 3 weeks. Some pretty wild stuff. So, Friedman, why don't you tell us about some interesting stuff that's still coming up?
Sure. So speaking of things that should have stopped at 150, let's talk about Pokemon for a minute here.
That's
So,
such a good.
so the timing is very unfortunate on this. So Nintendo tweeted out today like there's going to be a new trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I forget what it is. SV is what everyone's calling it.
Man, I don't give a shit.
Trailer tomorrow. They are hyping this up as the best Pokemon game ever made, open world, but also a classic style Pokemon game. So they're promising that it's going to be both red and blue at the exact same time, but it's only one color. What could it be?
Believe it or
The
not,
internet's already,
it's
like,
just
completely
me.
split whether this is a good game or not. We've seen nothing of it. Like,
Damn.
it's funny watching the reaction threads and seeing people like reactions to the announcement for the trailer and watching the huge split of just overwhelming positivity and then just complete negativity.
Damn.
There's no middle ground on Pokemon. It's ridiculous.
Welcome to Pokemon.
I am going with no expectations. I'm genuinely curious how much of Arceus shows up in this game. It sound like Arceus was supposed to be like just a spin-off game, not a real core game, and then it's arguably better reviewed than Sword and Shield. But it's been such a short amount of time since it came out. I don't know if they can actually change anything to make it more like Arceus. Unless this game is going to be not that advanced and it's just Arceus reskinned.
I'm going to say it again for the ones in the back. This is a dead franchise to me.
You guys got any thoughts on the hype?
I mean, I didn't
I already
know
gave,
there was.
I already gave my thoughts.
I didn't know there was a trailer coming, and it's certainly.
Did I disconnect?
What?
No, what? We hear
We
you.
can hear you. Oh no, he can't hear us. All right.
Oh, he can't
So,
hear us. But I'm going to say...
Yeah, I'm gonna
My
say
reaction-
No, my reaction is. Yeah, oh no, Friedman.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Friedman, we hear the typing.
Yeah.
Where is he missed?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Facebook. It's
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's Facebook. No, we hear
we
you.
hear you. Clack, clack, Friedman.
Clack, clack,
hell?
clickety, clack.
Oh my god! So I just went dead silent in the middle of talking, and I was like,
No,
everyone's
we
really
can.
fucking quiet.
Can he
What's going
hear?
He
can
heard
hear
you.
us?
on? I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, we could hear you the whole time. You were just talking.
It went dead. I'm like, what do you guys think? And there's just dead fucking silence.
And we were.
Either you guys are
Tyler-
really uninvolved in
Yeah.
this part.
Yeah, you got your answer. You got your answer, bro.
That's what Tyler's saying. His
Yeah,
answer is
you
the
were like-
dead silence to this franchise.
Yeah. This franchise is dead to me.
All right. So how long did the dead air go?
No,
for?
there was barely anything. It was funny.
I
Anyway.
was like, there was no dead air
Yeah.
on the podcast. Like we were still talking.
Okay, good. It flowed seamlessly.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
I
it
care
did.
about. All right.
No, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we both don't. I mean, I don't give a
For the
shit.
folks, at home, y'all know we don't care. Like, if we wanted this to be a high quality podcast and appease Freeman's brother, we would totally do that. But we're not. So
My God.
you know I'm right. Anyway, Pokemon sucks. Let's talk about a good franchise
Damn.
for
What?
once.
Yes,
Freeman,
finally,
give us a good
some
franchise.
deserved praise, except no praise is deserved by Atlus for this garbage.
Oh shit! Never mind.
So April starts, and they tweet on their international account, big announcement coming this month. And of course they whiff it and miss the month entirely. So May 1st rolls around and they're like,
Damn, they said April Fools, bro.
They're like, we forgot to do the April announcement.
They said April Fools.
It wasn't April 1st though. Like it was the first week in April. They said coming April, big announcement. And what was the big announcement? That's right, pachinko machine in Japan and merch you can only get on the Japanese Atlus store. Some announcement that they decided they're just going to tweet out to the international audience for shit they can't buy. And they're like, don't worry, there's another announcement coming in 2 weeks. So then 3 weeks later, the announcement finally comes. And what is it? That's right, they're bringing back the Persona concert series in Japan only. Another announcement they hyped up to the international audience for no fucking reason. But
get destroyed.
The only saving grace to come out of this is every time they've done the Persona concert series, they've announced a game during the concert. So, this is them low-key saying, we don't have jack shit to announce, come talk to us in August. So, everyone's angry. This is like the number. This is like how you kill hype. Like, are
you sure
like,
Japan? Are you sure Japanese people are angry? Because they just got told all their stuff.
Yeah, right.
Alice thinks Japan's the only country on Earth, and they get so surprised that everyone else exists. Like,
it's a very
constantly.
That's also a very Japanese thing to do.
We literally every company we discuss on this show, be it in anime, in gaming, in anything, it's the same thing.
But there's only so many times Sega can come over, slap Atlus, and say like, "Look, they will give us money, please." And Atlus is just like,
Freeman,
tell them we'll announce something maybe.
Freeman, it has never mattered. It's like you keep saying that, and it's just not true.
Dude, Sega cares.
But Sega's they don't care enough to make Atlus.
Had to delay the Japanese release to make sure it would release worldwide, and Atlus was pissed that Sega did this.
There you go. They're not going to do anything intentionally to be nice.
It's absurd that they're still this Japanese-centric.
Freeman, you're not wrong.
Whatever.
But that doesn't fix it.
We're America-centric, so, like, you know. I mean, like... I can't even be mad when Japan does shit like this, like...
Yes, I can.
We hog Hollywood hard. Like, we hog good movies. I'll be real. Like, think about that.
Yeah,
because I do all the time. I'm like, yo, fuck. Like, we crank out so many decent movies compared to other countries.
You're not wrong.
You know, like, or at least I should say, high budget films, high production value films compared to other countries.
Let's put it this way: Disney isn't headquartered outside of America.
Yeah, there you go. America #1. And it doesn't even matter. We still got Sony Santa Monica. I don't give a shit. They put out banger. Sony Santa the Sony American like game studios they bang pretty hard. Like, shoot, even Sucker Punch coming out with a game about Japan. Arguably the best samurai game ever made by Americans.
Dude, even the Japanese love that game.
That dude, for real. But I'll digress. Fucking what? So anyway, people are mad about this. Sure.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Not just people. Me. I'm furious about this.
Yeah.
I can't stand this garbage. Like, if you have nothing to announce, don't announce it. Like, don't.
The international demographic is upset by this.
Like, all you have to do is, if you only announce it on the Japanese Twitter and don't announce it on the outside Japan Twitter, it's a very clear sign that this is a Japan-centric announcement. So I don't know what was the point of announcing it to the rest of the world when it was like not an announcement for them. Grinds my gears. Pisses me off.
Sucks to be an American, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
You know, really
I wish I knew what to
gears?
tell you. Being American. As we say this after Memorial Day.
Oh my god. Anyway,
God.
let's move to more American shit instead of Japanese shit, except it's still Japanese shit, but it's American this time. So
Wow.
Apple, yeah, try to double back there. So Apple is dipping their toes in the movie industry, trying to get Apple TV to be like the thing. So one of the movies they just recently announced is that they have the rights to the next Speed Racer movie, and they're having J.J. Abrams direct it.
Why? I don't.
This
Honest question: would anyone
Why?
care about this if it wasn't J.J. Abrams or another famous director?
No, I
the
don't
thing is,
give a
I
shit.
would care because I grew up on Speed Racer. It was air quotes my dad's favorite anime. So like I saw the last Speed Racer movie when it came out. I was disappointed. My dad loved it, but it was like I want a cool Speed Racer. Like I don't know if you guys watched it, but it aired briefly
Nope.
on Nickelodeon.
That's
There
why I
was a show
have
called-
no.
I had no desire because it looked like F-Zero and not Speed Racer.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
The best part
No,
of
because if I want an F-Zero movie, I would want an F-Zero movie, not this. Like tell me like anything about that movie. Does it scream Speed Racer? Like the only thing in that movie to me that screamed Speed Racer was the Mach 5. That's
yeah,
it.
that was it. That was all I was gonna say. It's just the car.
Yeah, like nothing about it. Like everything else, it's like, oh, literally, this whole fucking game is Rainbow Road. like, it's fucked up. And like my
You're
dad,
not wrong.
yeah, like it's not even fun. And like I remember playing like, I don't know, because like my dad's like, oh, like because we had a Wii, and he like tried to make a point of playing the Wii for some reason. So he got the Speed Racer game based off the movie,
Oh no.
and I was just like, why the fuck am I
Don't
even
you ever buy movies
entertaining
by
this? Yeah, like number one, why, right? But number two, literally, I'm like, I'd rather like this is F-Zero, and it's not even F-Zero, and I'm like, where are the saw blades? Where's anything? Like, this isn't even, and like, it's funny too because like I feel like people forget. Like, of course, there's like some quote serious undertones with the original Speed Racer, like. Or like the drama quote, but like honestly,
it's not serious at all.
it's not that serious, but like like it's really the Japanese version of wacky racing.
I mean,
Like, and I
you're
feel like
calling- it
everybody
came out-
forgets
It came out at
about
like
it.
the same time too.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Like, I think it's so weird. I think it's weird, and like I just don't care about Speed Racer at all.
The most I know and like about Speed Racer is the that YouTube clip of that. He's
Oh my god! Oh!
He's going ah!
They're talking about he's gonna go off a cliff. Ah! Fucking
Speed
That's
Racer's
so
hilarious.
That's
The
literally
Speed
all
Racer
I've
is
seen of
hilarious.
Speed Racer.
The problem is I've been chasing a Speed Racer aesthetic that only loosely existed. So there was a show called Speed Racer X. I think it went for like 39 episodes. It got dubbed for like 15 before they just canceled the dub, and it was airing on Nickelodeon.
Huh.
So it was supposed to be like the darker, more grittier Speed Racer.
Like
of the early
Samurai
2000s.
X.
No, it was the same. It was the same plot structure, but it was like they're like get Madhouse to give us their art style for this.
I just
So it has, like,
imagine.
It has like the
It's-
Death Note art style, but it's just Speed Racer.
Oh god, I just imagine because you said it's like a Speed Racer X, even though there is a Racer X in Speed Racer,
Yes.
but like I'm thinking of like Samurai X's to Rurouni
Oh my
Kenshin, where it's just like instead
Speed Racer X.
Speed Racer's just killing people with the saw blades, like like he's jumping on everybody with like the safety 7 just kills people instead, like.
Well, he was still chopping people's tires with the saw blades, but like people were like actually wiping out. So
Yeah, but like they didn't die though.
hold on.
Like, I'm talking about, like, when they
Nickelodeon,
flip-
definitely didn't. All right, I'll have to look up clips from Speed Racer X later. God, this
Yeah.
art style is something.
But
else.
also
Anyway,
talking about going fast. What is this about Sonic Frontiers?
So Sonic Frontiers, the open world Sonic game. There was an
Damn, that
announcement.
seamless transition.
I think it was like
Yeah.
a week or two ago. It was like a blue blur of a transition there. There was an announcement 2 weeks ago that Sonic Frontiers is not going to make its holiday 2022 release window. It's going to be pushed back to 2023. But they used it to confirm that they're releasing a bunch of re-releases and remakes of other Sonic games next year. Now this is excluding the Sonic 1, 2, 3 collection that's coming out, I think, still this year.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
the
say,
question
does
is
that
what-
include, because that's 3 games right there. So
But those ones are still scheduled for 2022. So the question is, what other Sonic games are getting remade? And is it going to be Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2? Because those games
not.
could desperately use a
It's
remake.
fucking not.
Sonic Adventure 1
not.
desperately needs a remake.
They're not
Just
doing it.
imagine. They're not going to
Not
do it. It's
doing
going to be like Sonic Advance remake or some garbage. But the big takeaway is that IGN is doing some big, tops coming off. All the news is coming out in June. This is IGN-centric Sonic news announcements, and IGN posted this like 1-minute clip that has the first gameplay footage of Sonic Frontiers, including some type of combat system, which doesn't involve just the homing attack.
Whoa.
But there's only like 20 seconds of footage in it, so it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on. But there was like one boss where Sonic had to run in a circle around him before he could attack him. There was one where he has this big looping shit. I don't know. Visually, it looks kind of wonky. There's a couple of frames where Sonic's flipping through the air and it looks really bad. But if the game handles well, that's all I'm looking for. Like, Sonic Adventure 2 looks pretty jank, but at the time, it handled decently. But like, you go and play Sonic 2006, the game looks fine, but it handles like ass, and because of that, it's a bad game. So if it handles well and is fun to play, I don't give a shit about the graphics of this one. I just want it to actually like feel like a fun Sonic game. But we'll get more announcements throughout the month, exclusively on IGN, and exclusively rehosted on the TNT podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
I don't know, like...
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I just,
you
like...
got nothing.
I didn't even see the trailer, but Freeman, hearing you describe it makes it sound to me like it's just not going to be a Sonic game.
Let's be real here. We haven't had a Sonic game in like 20 years now. It's all Sonic in other video games. None of these have been Sonic games.
But I feel like there's been some of the 2D ones, like the... Fuck, what were they called? Wasn't there like Origins and... Not Colors or something, but like... What the fuck was it?
Colors was 3D. But they came back to these like 2D segments.
Yeah, but there was also the like crossover with old Sonic and new Sonic or something.
But the thing is, like, half of the charm of that was that it was just old levels being brought up to date.
I thought they had new a bunch of them had
there
new levels.
was new content, but it relied very heavy on like nostalgia. That said, it wasn't a bad game, but like the problem is when I played that game, the sudden transition from being like 3D on rails to just distinct 2D Sonic was very weird to have this like, half and half game style.
I know, but all I'm saying is it sounds like this game is completely is like going to be instead of being a bad or even interesting, but like Sonic games, you know what a Sonic game is, right? Like
yeah,
that's what I mean. Is like this seems so far. Like this seems. I understand this is like okay. When the 3D Sonic started coming out, they were still mostly on rails 2D or like 3D games, but you ran in 3D, but it was still on a rail, really, and you had like branching paths. Whereas this
Sonic
is like.
In Sonic Adventure 1, you had like the open world between the levels, and while it wasn't amazing, fans have been like crying for it again. And then it came back into Sonic 2006. And it was done poorly, but they still had it. So the whole idea of like Sonic moving around before getting to stages has been a thing in the 3D
No, I get that. I'm saying like adding combat to a Sonic game. Like, I feel like the fact that Sonic is one of those key platformers like Mario, where it's just there's like one button for a special action, but you are about navigating the level.
So there's two other games I'd say they arguably did combat in. One was Sonic Unleashed, which was, we don't talk about that.
Yes.
But the other one was Sonic Heroes, when you had to switch to power mode. There was a combat component to it. And I'd argue that was only like a third of the gameplay, because you just switch to different formations for speed or flying. But like all these things are things that Sonic Team has done before and kind of fucked up, and I'm commending for taking another shot at it. I just want this to actually be fun to play.
At the end of the day, I just don't want this to end up being another, like, instead of it being a Sonic game with elements of this, have it be a Breath of the Wild knockoff with Sonic in it. You know what I mean?
I mean, with how much Sonic's coming out, I'm fine with them trying new shit. Like, this is very.
I'm not saying new shit. I'm saying I don't want it to go so far that it's Sonic becoming like something else, getting a coat of Sonic paint. I want it to be a Sonic thing that changes to be like something else more.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going the opposite direction.
Well, I know, and that's what I'm saying. If that's I'm not saying it's guaranteed to be bad. I'm saying, is that really going to still be a Sonic game? That's what I want to see. Not even saying they can't do it. I just want to see if they're going to get to that point.
Look, after doubting Arceus' gameplay and finding out it's supposedly the best Pokemon gameplay of all time, I'm willing to give this a shot. But like Arceus, I'm going to wait for the reviews to come in for this, because early gameplay testers said the gameplay was garbage. So if it comes out that this is not fun to play, I'm not playing it.
Okay. You know what game I would not want to play? Oh no, what? Go ahead. I'll
say I just wasn't gonna. I just don't give a shit about Sonic.
But do you like open world games?
But would you play a Breath of the Wild that has some Sonic elements to it?
No. Not even in the slightest.
Damn.
And I could go into a bunch of reasons why, but I'm not, because it's going to be super long-winded into, like, why
And
I
we'll
don't like
We're so far away.
Yeah, in 2 weeks we can once the full gameplay trailers are out, we can do a full dissection of why it's bad.
Oh yeah. But anyway.
No, I was gonna say though. Speaking of games, I wouldn't want to play.
I don't know, man. I heard the director's cut of Death Stranding 1 was pretty good.
Oh boy.
And I heard from someone we all know very well.
What about
The missing fourth member. That the director's cut was really well done.
Oh yeah.
So like I feel bad because like I think the director's cut was free on Epic Game Store recently, and I feel bad because I own the original version for PS4, but I don't want to play it because it's supposedly not as good as the director's cut. So
yeah,
anyway,
I want to play it, but only on my PS5.
Yeah, apparently the controller is the defining part of the director's cut.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
But to the actual news story.
The actual news, this is ridiculous. So Death Stranding 2 has not been announced. It has not been hinted at. No one has talked about it until Norman Reedus was in an interview and he said, yeah, we already started working on the second one. So Norman Reedus leaks that Death Stranding 2 is in development.
Oopsies.
How far in? We don't know. It hasn't been officially acknowledged by
There's
anyone.
this isn't even a 2023 game.
Yeah, no, it's... If anything, we get a cinematic trailer at like the Game Awards at the end of the year or something.
Sure, but that would be for 2024 game.
Yeah, we're not seeing this for a while.
No.
Unless they're just going to like reuse the engine. But I feel like Kojima doesn't do that.
Even if they did, though, that was with all like the custom animations and just recording all of that dialogue and everything and making the game work together.
Yeah, they basically have to film another movie.
Yeah,
it's fucking weird. I want to take a second and skip ahead just a little bit because we're talking about Kojima shit. I'm playing Police Knots right now.
Okay.
On top of playing Final Fantasy 15. And I'm just like, man, I fucking get it now. Like, with this guy and his... Like, this dude just likes movies way too much.
Yes.
Like, after reading, like, kind of reading the book... I haven't read his book all the way through. But, like, after playing, like, I don't know, like, the 8 hours or 9 hours of Police Knots, I'm like, damn, this guy loves nothing but movies. Also, product of its time, like, completely. Like a lot. But it's fun, though. I just wanted to throw that out there because we were talking about Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. That's all I got.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like looking back at Metal Gear Solid 1, it's just him wanting to make like an action movie into a video game. And he's just kind of gone further beyond ever since then. Like,
but I don't know.
Four was when he peaked, where he realized, like, uh-oh, my games need gameplay.
My games need gameplay. That's true, though. There was, like, almost as much, like, cutscene as there was gameplay in 4. There was probably more. And then 5, it was basically all gameplay, more or less.
All right.
That was fun.
Let's be done with Kojima. Let's talk about some real Western nerd shit.
Yeah, so can we get to the real storytelling of our time, you know?
The thing that the Timpedia listeners are actually here for.
Yeah, so Star Wars Celebration happened this past, I don't know, end of weekend? I think it was a couple days.
It was like Friday into Saturday or something? I forget what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember, but there was quite a bit that got announced and came out there. But we're just going to blow through a bunch of stuff that was announced, because really nothing was announced for, like, coming in the immediate future. But we got the closest thing we got is Andor, a TV show about Cassian Andor, the guy who, from Rogue One, the male protagonist of Rogue One, he's getting a mini-series from before that movie about the formation of the rebellion and the early days of the Empire.
This is dumb. I'm just going to come out and say it's dumb. I don't want to see it.
I'm gonna come out and say I wish it wasn't a character from Rogue One because that movie was great and I don't need ties to that movie because of the way it ends. But
We don't need anything. We don't need. We already got our story. We
well,
can just get something else.
But no. But I was gonna say I didn't want to watch the trailer, and then YouTube was pushing it on me, and I saw comments on Reddit. They're like, "Wow, the trailer's really good." And I'm like, "Fuck it, fine, I'll watch the trailer." And I gotta say, even though I don't really care about Cassian as a character at all, and I wish it wasn't him, I am very interested to see the beginning of the rebellion in this new universe that's not my old stuff that I've seen. I'm interested.
Are you really?
I'm interested to see what the world building looks like in this show.
If they take the Boba Fett approach of like the show's about Boba, but like the side cast is gonna carry this character, then I get it. If this is just
I don't even want that. That's like saying going in, I want it to be screwed up. Like no.
Well, no. That's just because Boba was bad. But I'm saying if you take this point of view character, have the viewers follow him, keep putting him into scenarios with other big Star Wars. Characters
we already know Mon Mothma is like going to be in this show, and I think it'd be really cool. So I'll just say we're going to talk about Obi-Wan later, but there's a character from Obi-Wan who I did not expect to see after being in Episode 3 who would be on a similar level to Mon Mothma and would be someone I would want to see helping start the rebellion. But I don't know I don't know how back into the role he is after filming for Obi-Wan.
I don't know.
All I'm saying is I'm not dismissing this out of hand. I was, and I really still don't care about Cassian, but I am interested to see the formation of the rebellion.
I am. I'm dismissing it. I just want different shit.
I'll watch anything Star Wars. Literally anything.
Well,
what is Jedi Survivor?
So,
what is this?
If you remember Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Tyler, the open world game from Respawn, not open world, but the Star Wars game from Respawn, this is the sequel to that game.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The same studio?
Yeah, it's still Respawn. Dude, oh man, when I watched this trailer, because I watched a summary video that was like 4 minutes long of the first day of Celebration where they announced all this shit. And man, when they showed the Respawn trailer, I was like, is Respawn coming back to do a Titanfall-esque shooter in the Star Wars franchise? And then I went...
Lol, psych.
I went, wait, no, you fucking idiot. They made Jedi Fallen Order, set a bunch of sequel hooks, and like, why would they switch from off their one successful new Star Wars game that they have?
A dead franchise? Yeah, I know.
So yeah, Star Wars Jedi Survivor got a little teaser. It's literally just showed... I already forgot his fucking name. I can't remember the main character's name. But yeah, we're getting Jedi Survivor next year, and by then maybe I'll be able to
Cal or something like that?
Cal
Kestis. His name is Jedi Survivor.
His name was Jedi Fallen Order, and then he changed his name to Survivor.
Changed his name to Survivor.
It'll be interesting to see if they take the approach of like giving, since you know you're playing as him, it's not like it's KOTOR or an RPG where you would like lose all your powers, you know? So I'm interested to see because there really aren't honestly, a lot of direct sequel games in the Star Wars history where you play as a non-established character in a setting that you build up. Like the KOTOR games, you're not playing as the same character, so it makes sense to start fresh. But like, this is Cal again. Like, he got new force powers, and he fixed his lightsaber, and you could have a double-bladed lightsaber, or, like, if you wanted to, in the last game, and that all added new stuff to your fight. I'm saying it's like a DMC situation, almost like an action game, of, like, are we going to keep our powers, or are they going to bullshit connive? Oh, you landed on this planet, and the Inquisitors showed up, and they drained your powers, and they broke your connection to the Force.
Your variant suit has been damaged. You must reacquire your upgrade.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah. So...
Well, speaking of Inquisitors, for both, real quick, for both like the show and what you just said, the hypothetical, I beat the Inquisitor storyline for SWTOR finally.
Oh, nice.
Only took me 80 fucking hours.
God damn. Was it at least good?
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Nice.
Like, fucking loved it.
Wow.
Being
nice.
a straight asshole was awesome, yeah. But then Michelle was like, oh yeah, like, this is probably the best story. I was like, There's a double-edged saber to this, isn't there?
Double-edged saber.
Oh, this is probably the best, but but yeah, I digress. I just want to throw that out there because I finally did it. Literally doing that since we first started going out.
Nice.
But yeah. Now, see, this is something I'm looking forward to, though. This Ahsoka show.
So yeah, they also
This show
said,
looks pretty
I believe
cool.
this had been announced, but they reconfirmed that Ahsoka is coming with Rosario Dawson, and it's coming next year, and it's going to take place at the same time as The Mandalorian, which is wild to me. Like, man, it is crazy to me to think that when that original animated Clone Wars movie that was not very good, that Anakin's fake apprentice character from that show, in my mind fake at the time because obviously old canon was like that's bullshit.
Mhm.
I couldn't have put any amount of money on the entire franchise being like built as like her as the savior of the future Jedi, like, and Luke is just an idiot who tried to kill his nephew. Like, wow, what a twist no one saw coming, really.
Look, Michelle and I literally had a 10-minute conversation how Luke is a fucking moron
Yeah,
the other day, actually, and it's
those movies are not good.
and the contradiction of I honestly didn't think about it until recently. How it's damn, Luke saw good in his father, who literally aced planet after planet
Yep.
almost races, and then this one time his own nephew, was like, I'm thinking about going to the dark side. Snap, gotta kill him. Gotta fucking kill him. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. It's bad. But next thing, I don't know what this is.
So they also announced that another show called Skeleton Crew with Jude Law starring is coming.
You typoed and I thought it was actually called Skeletron Crew.
Oh god, that would have been way cooler.
Skeletron.
No, there's a new show coming next year between Amando and Ahsoka. That's cool. That's it.
Any details?
They literally just said, nope, this is a named Skeleton Crew. It's going to be about a bunch of losers who saved the galaxy, I'm sure. So, yeah, that's really it.
Oh, okay. Why bother announcing this if they're not going to?
Because Freeman, we're trying to build the slate like Marvel for next year because we're halfway through 2022. How horrifying is that thought? But
yeah.
Also confirmation that Mando Season 3 is next year. And apparently Jon Favreau already said he has early notes written for Season 4. So they
are going to go for the
apparently we have years of Mando ahead.
Well, yeah, because it hits so hard with that Baby Yoda money, dude. They want more of that Baby Yoda money.
Of the Star Wars TV.
That's literally, and I could see this happening. I can almost guarantee you that's why they wanted him back so bad. I can almost guarantee that's why they rushed him.
Sure,
they rushed that reunion. Same, big same.
All right, so
if they kill Baby Yoda next season.
I fucking hope so. I want their marketing to die.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah, hot take.
We can blow through the last three things are just other dates and stuff. This fall, Bad Batch Season 2, the other Clone Wars animated-esque show that apparently the first season of was pretty popular, so second season of that coming. And then this is what I'm actually this might be the most hype announcement for me actually, other than Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Visions Season 2 coming in spring of next year. That's pretty exciting. I'm kind of excited to see more random animation.
I thought it was just okay.
See, but Tyler,
honestly.
It's
going to be new studios. It's going to be completely different.
No. I was going to say it's new and it's interesting, which was what you exactly said what you wanted earlier with Andor. Even if it's not canon and it's weird and some of them aren't great, like some of the first ones aren't great.
A lot of them aren't great.
Sure, that's fine. We can say that the top 3 are still the only really good ones. That's a discussion, but at least it's new and interesting. That's why I'm interested to see what it looks like, because, man, right. Mando Season 3, I love Mando. It's Mando. Ahsoka, we already saw what Ahsoka is going to be like. She's going to be going after Thrawn, and I'm excited to see who they cast as Thrawn. That's pretty cool. But, Andor, again, it's a known character and expanding around them, but Visions is such a wholly unique thing in Star Wars that it's just exciting.
Imagine we get banned episode 2. Just imagine the possibility.
Then I would say feel free to cancel all future attempts to make Star Wars Visions.
Look, man, I want a sequel to the first Trigger animation with just more Trigger goodness happening.
The brother and sister in space shit?
Yeah, I want a rematch.
I don't really need that. That's okay.
I'm joking. We don't need it.
I don't need it.
What I do need, though, is Japanese audio with actual English subtitles this time.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be nice.
Their butchering of the official version was pathetic.
And then last but very much not least, KOTOR 2! It's coming to Switch June 8th. Another one of those modern ports of the longest-kicking franchise in Star Wars history.
Wait,
most re-releases and updates and everything. What?
What is the new one going to be called?
The KOTOR remake?
Is it just called KOTOR remake? Is the title?
I think so.
Okay.
Or there's no official name for it, at least. But
I misread this now. I thought it was saying that the new KOTOR remake was coming to June 8th.
No. There is. So apparently there's restored content stuff, which I wonder if it includes some of the restored content mods. That's insane. But yeah, there's a port of KOTOR 2 coming to the Switch June 8th. I would almost buy it again just to start playing KOTOR 2 at work. But then I think, man, I can't put any of the good mods that aren't just restored content on that game. That game needs so much help, so I don't know if I could do that anymore. You know what I don't know if we can do anymore, Freeman?
Make sound effects in the background when I say that it's time for the Weeb shit.
Yeah,
Wow!
Good lord, cancel this podcast.
Yeah,
This is some shit. Anyway,
There's only one thing I want to talk about on this thing, and that's it.
Okay,
Everything else is irrelevant.
go ahead.
All right, you want to talk about that first?
I just want to talk about Konosuba Season 3, and that's
I thought you were
gonna be the
gonna
Oh,
talk
I thought you were going to about Hunter x Hunter 2.
No. Alright, the only thing I'm going to say about Hiatus X Hiatus is literally, I will not read this until dude is done writing it. That's
Same.
it.
If he comes out with the final chapter, that's my cue to start reading.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I was already burned.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, the pain is still there. And,
You can feel it in your guts.
oh... I almost moved you out. I almost kicked you out. I almost kicked you out of this chat.
Not
Almost
sorry.
killed you out. No, you son of a bitch.
So proud of
That
myself.
hurt me. That hurt me so bad. This is the last podcast. Fuck this.
Yeah,
So-
I know, right?
I don't come on here to be attacked
Tyler,
like this.
Tyler, so what announcements from Konosuba franchise after months of leading up to this?
Oh,
Exciting.
season 3, baby. Yo, I've been waiting for this since the movie came out.
Can I just say
Like,
how
They've been
funny?
hyping- Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say how funny it is that Freeman's not the one who wanted to jump straight to Konosuba, even though Freeman was called Megumine in our last D&D game.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
all about building up to the big story. I always put it like 3/4 of the way down and then end with a
And
fluff.
Tyler just
It's
jumps straight ahead to it.
Yeah.
straight ahead, because I don't
just-
give a shit.
It's always just like get the shit out of the way, talk about the real thing, fluff piece to get us out of here.
Fluff beast.
Just like real news.
That's
But, yeah,
fine, but I'm jumping in because I'm like, I've been waiting for this. Like, as you guys know, I'm not excited for a lot of anime these days, but this gem,
Yeah.
been waiting.
Does put a smile on your face.
The lead up to this announcement sucked though, because it's been literally a year since they announced Konosuba is getting a new animation project.
Yeah, I feel like this has been in the. That's why I said months. Feels like it's been around forever.
Which could mean anything. It could mean there's a new episode of Konosuba that you can only see piece by piece when you play Pachinko machines in Japan. Like, it was a very realistic announcement that they might have made, because guess what? They did also announce Konosuba Pachinko machines.
Oh
But
my
they-
god.
They announced that the animation project is going to be season 3. They did confirm it's going to a different studio, so it's not Studio Dean anymore, but the director and character designers,
Ugh.
like the big 4 guys who worked on it, are jumping over to work on it at a different studio. But the studio hasn't done anything else other than support work for other shows.
Oh.
So it can be iffy, but the soul of the team is there. The question is the animation going to hold up? And given the nature of everyone just being freelancers all the time, it might end up just being the same as it was at Studio Dean, to be perfectly honest.
Damn.
But the big out-of-nowhere announcement was that Megumine's spin-off light novel, An Explosion on This Wonderful World, is getting its own anime adaptation.
What the fuck?
Which is phenomenal, because Chimosuke's backstory is apparently very important to the endgame of Konosuba, and his entire backstory is explored in the Megumin spin-off light novel series. So,
All right, I'm ready. I've been getting into light novels, as you guys saw.
the big concern I have is we know Megumin's backstory, and I'm concerned this is just going to be a straight up comedy anime where it's just Megumin trolling Union for 12 episodes.
It might be.
Which can be good. It might get tiring. I'm not sure.
Honest question. Like, what is Megumin just like 99% of the fan base of Konosuba's favorite character?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking.
There's a reason she was the focal character of the movie.
I know that, but that's what I mean. We got everyone, Megumin movie, everyone, Megumin TV show. Like, no one else gets their own spin-off anything.
Like, how do I put this?
Oh,
throughout
boy.
the entire show, without spoiling anything, like, Cosmo and Megumin are, like, almost, like, just shy of officially paired off. Like, she is the love interest of Konosuba, essentially.
Well, yeah.
So, because of that, she's the most popular.
Okay.
That's how waifus work.
That's how waifus were.
The technology.
Anyway, let's rewind back up to the top of the Weeb shit and get some...
yeah, these are real close.
Great announcements out of the way.
This is a shockingly small Weeb shit. Like, we're going to be done in record time here.
So, we have... Sorry, so we have the next season coming up in roughly 4 weeks from now. So, everything... This is a weird season where everything has almost been announced earlier in the year. Like, there's no surprise announcements. We know all the shows already. So most of the announcements right now are just like, X and Y voice actor is going to be in blah blah show as a side character, is most of the announcements that have been the last couple weeks.
And who the fuck cares about that?
Yeah.
We just sit down with Freeman, and Freeman recognizes every voice actor.
Only people who really care about voice actors give a shit about this, and I wouldn't subject our listeners to the stuff I care about. So let's talk about the real announcement.
So yeah, the only thing I wanted to bring up is that I am thankful that we got confirmation of Season 3 of Fire Force. Because I really pretty much...
I was shocked this got announced, because...
yeah, you were like, this
David
will
Production
never...
is having production issues with JoJo and getting them to schedule with Netflix, so they're kind of locked in until JoJo Part 6 is finished. But, like, there's no way they're just getting a Fire Force to another... studio, is there?
I don't know, but it got announced, so I'm interested to see what happened.
Look at any news on this online. It's all from like random sites that just shit. Discord's doing that thing where I can't hear you guys.
Oh boy.
No.
Solido.
Keep the podcast going. I'll let you know when I can hear you again.
Yeah, I know, that's fine. So yeah, I'm excited to see Fire Force Season 3. Like,
Yeah.
It's funny that Freeman's mic broke, and there he goes, and he'll probably be back in a sec. But it's funny because he was the one who's like, man, I don't know about this show. Like, all these problems I've been having, man. Like, I can't abide by some of this stuff. And it's like,
I don't know. I wasn't too into it myself.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, I hate Discord.
You're the only one who has these problems, Freeman. Like,
it suddenly dropped to like ping of 500, and that's when I can't hear you guys. And then Discord just kicked me from the channel.
Discord is saying I have a ping of 0 right now, so I must be sitting on a Discord server right now.
Look, I'm back down to sub 30 again, so it's fine. But it's those blips that are killing me tonight.
Anyway, I was just saying that, like, because you got disconnected, you're the only other person who watched Fire Force. I don't think you ever caught up, though, or did you?
Oh, no, I caught up within 4 weeks of it finishing.
I don't know why I thought it was so much longer.
I was in a perpetual state of being behind because it was a lunchtime show for me, and I wasn't always home for lunch to watch.
Got it.
So, there was a good period of time where I was supposed to be catching Val up on season 2.
Yes, that's right.
So I was intentionally behind, but then you moved back, so I just caught up on my own.
That's what I should tell Val while she's up late at night.
Yeah, season 2 was way better than season 1. Like, it definitely figured out what it was doing.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see that, but yeah, regardless of studio, I'm sure this is like a next year show. But the only other even more minor news for a show we already knew was coming, Chainsaw Man is I don't think it's this coming season, right? Freeman, it's like 2 seasons from now.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fall, so
yeah, 2 seasons.
September, October airing.
So 2 seasons, yeah.
But we got confirmation that Crunchyroll is gonna have it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Watch.
Thank fucking God, it's not gonna be impossible to watch on Disney Plus or Netflix or any of these other, or High Dive still. No, we're getting Chainsaw Man on Crunchyroll, thank goodness. So yeah, that's really it. Yeah, Tyler, do you have any interest in watching Chainsaw Man?
Not really.
Really?
I don't know. I mean,
that's fair. I mean,
I might see it
just because it is like the most hyped thing right now.
Yeah, it is the most hyped thing. So that's why I might give it a shot. But I don't know, the concept sounds kind of dumb. But I feel like I shouldn't write it off.
What, you mean Chainsaw Man?
Yeah. We were talking about. I was asking Tyler if he has any interest in watching.
It's disturbingly close to Jujutsu Kaisen in terms of setup, and then it gets different after the first couple volumes. But the setup is almost identical to Jujutsu Kaisen,
and it is similarly gigantic in Japan, right?
Look, all you have to do is meet Best Girl, and she shows up in end of chapter 1, start of chapter 2. You meet Makima, you're gonna want to watch this show.
Oh my god.
Trust me.
I believe you. We got to see it. But that's already it for, things that are coming out. We really didn't have that much news, but what we do have is the stuff that we watched and played. You guys did a lot of stuff in the last 3 weeks, while I did not. So so Tyler, you enjoyed this movie that I raved about, huh?
I did. I liked
what
Unbearable.
movie?
I was listening. Let me say it.
I'm trying to.
No, go ahead.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nicolas Cage.
Say Nicolas Cage, the actor.
Nicolas Cage, the actor, the famous actor guy. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Even Michelle, who's not a big movie person, really enjoyed it. But it was funny because I was super lame. Because every time they brought up a good Nicolas Cage movie, I would lean over and be like, "That's a banger." Con Air was they showed what's it called? A clip from Con Air right at the beginning of the movie. I was like, "This is from Con Air," and she kind of nodded "Oh, that's nice, Tyler. That's nice." Give me the "Oh, that's nice." And then the statue from Face Off. I was like, "That statue's from Face Off." She's like, "Oh, that's nice." Oh man, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
I'm glad I saw this movie twice in theaters. It was a fun ride each time. Now I just gotta get Freeman to watch.
I was the first one to see it.
Oh yeah,
he was the first one to see it.
Wow,
this is one of the few movies that all three of us have watched, but just at completely different times.
It took 3 podcasts to get through because we all watched it 2 times.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, Tyler, this is a shots fired though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not wrong that Multiverse of Madness was kind of bland.
I don't see that surprised me a little because I don't know if you could really. I would call a Sam Raimi movie like that bland.
Well, here's the thing. It's I enjoyed the movie for what it is, right? I enjoyed it. But I was entertained, but I didn't walk out of the theater feeling oh, that was super kind of different, or I liked it. I probably won't watch this movie again. Actually, I was telling Michelle, I was like, this made me want to go watch Evil Dead 2. It feels like this movie was just. In fact, I even put it in my Letterboxd review. I think one of the only reviews I made. It's literally Evil Dead 3. Just look at it. Even Bruce Campbell was in it, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But I laughed.
I was shocked.
But I think I only laughed because Bruce Campbell was in it. And Michelle's looking at me why are you laughing? I'm like, it's Bruce Campbell.
Is it?
I know you don't understand, but it's Bruce Campbell. And I told her, I was like, objectively, if I was like you, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed the movie at all. But because it's Sam Raimi and I'm familiar with his work, I'm like, this is 10 out of 10. This is the most Sam Raimi movie I've seen in a long time. But yeah, I don't know, it's whatever. I didn't like Wanda's motivation. I felt like there was no growth with her, which like they explained, but like I thought it was kind of weak. And I'm trying to not give spoilers.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Like I don't know if we talked about it, Tim, at all.
Yeah, we
Did
talked about it on
this?
Sunday a little bit.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
No, it's I'm not even trying to super defend it. I just don't think it was that bad. But yeah, nothing you said is really wrong.
Yeah, like I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a
No.
bad movie.
No, I also just didn't love it either. Not even for the same reasons.
Yeah. Now there was one scene that I thought was pretty badass though, and that was when Scarlet Witch shows up and she aces all of those badasses. That was pretty great. You know what I'm talking about. And then someone makes an appearance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one
strolls
particular
through.
person. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit.
Here's your fan service.
Yeah, sure. When I heard the song play, I actually got pretty hype at that point. I was like, oh shit! I turned to Michelle. I was like, oh shit! Like, it's him.
Yeah, I had completely forgotten that because I remember seeing a headline actually that mentioned his name in this trailer in the trailer for the movie. So they had actually spoiled that he was in it in one of the trailers.
Oh damn!
Fucking idiots! I don't know why you would ever on planet Earth give that away.
I'm assuming you're talking about the guy who said the line, "We should tell him the truth."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was super obvious from the trailer.
Yeah. So why fucking? I don't know why you throw that away. Speaking of throwing things away, you know what Star Wars can't throw away? Obi-Wan Kenobi memes.
Yes.
Damn.
I'm dead convinced that they're like, guys, we found that a third of our watchers are subscribed to r/prequel memes. How do we capitalize on this?
No, it's got to be more like r/prequel memes is one of like the biggest subreddits on all of Reddit. We have to appease to this easy marketing.
And I love how the whole opening to the first episode was literally all the fucking
They
memes.
just re-edited the trilogy in one go.
Yeah, they literally. I was like, wait a minute. Like watching through the entire recap, I was like, not only are we getting a recap of all three prequel movies,
all the
like
memes.
it's every single meme. Like
The problem is they took normal scenes, but every single scene has been memed. You can't cut together a recap clip without including at least half scenes that later became memes.
Oh god, it's so funny.
especially like the blatant. I have the high. Like
Yes,
I have the
why is
high
it on
ground. I was
there?
like,
Yes,
and I looked at Michelle. I was like, they didn't have to include this, but
Nope.
they did.
they,
Like
they went that extra mile.
they really did. It's like, god damn it! And even she died of a broken heart shit. I was like, motherfucker,
it's so
like,
funny. It really was hilarious.
oh my god, I can't with this shit. But I don't know. What first impressions? What do you guys think?
It's interesting.
You know what? I complain about trailers a lot. This trailer did a wonderful job of giving away nothing about what this show is about.
Right. I was pleasantly surprised myself.
Like, it is not a spoiler to say that all the footage in the trailer that came out... Now, I will say it's the first trailer, because I watched that first trailer, and not the second one. The fact that every second of footage in that first trailer was from these first 2 episodes, and we still had no idea what was happening, actually makes me more interested in the last 4 episodes. Because now I'm like, I legitimately have no clue where this show is going to go. Like, I'm sure you can make guesses, or, there's a reference to some other show, or some dumb bullshit, but, like, there is no trailer, there's no news, no nothing that seems to show easily where this is going to go. There's no easy path forward. Like, I feel like we kind of finished the mission that covers the first 2 episodes at the end of the first one, so unless they extend it like Mandalorian, I don't know what else is going to happen. And I feel like not a lot more can happen considering who the characters are involved.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll figure it out. And
I have a Star Wars canon question.
Sure.
Is the first time Darth Vader and Obi-Wan reunite, is it on the Death Star where they duel in episode 4?
So I would have thought it was, and I guess it might not be.
Doesn't seem like it anymore.
I don't know
like
how
I'm
that's
reviewing...
possible, but apparently it is possible.
All right.
Well, I guess
reviewing
we'll,
the
you know.
dialogue, and like
It
it
will.
seems like they haven't seen each other since then.
It sure does. I mean, the moment where now, never mind how the fuck did that person give him that information, but seeing one of the best moments in the show already is seeing Obi-Wan learn that Vader's alive. That is one of the absolute best shots in the whole show, like right there. That is one of the coolest things to have on screen.
Yeah, it was really good.
I don't know. At the same time, I do have some issues with the show a little bit. I feel like I feel like I get why they went where they went, but there are a few moments that feel really cheesy and a little kind of like and maybe it's because we were just talking about the Robert Rodriguez stuff from Boba Fett, Tyler, the other day,
yeah.
but like, I don't know, the chase through the woods and like him chasing
yes.
the target through the market.
Yes.
It felt real cheesy and dumb.
I think
Because
we
it was.
I think we just learned the hard way. You can't do chase scenes well anymore.
Well, no, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, literally, this person is small. How are you bumbling through the forest like this, my guys?
Dude, when she is running through the forest and she does a little slide move under the slightly thick branch, and the woman runs up to it and just like angrily smacks the branch. I'm like, are we in a fucking cartoon right now?
Yeah, like it's so stupid.
She jumps through the Y in the tree, and the bounty hunter just stops behind her, just shakes his fist at the tree. It's like, come on.
You guys are supposed to be highly paid fucking bounty hunters that like are here for a mission, and like you guys are fucking
and
this
then just
up,
crack
like,
shot moment when the one guard just just bop, like,
yeah.
Get the fuck is
it's really dumb.
So those moments, I'm not gonna lie, bother me a little bit. I have not been thrilled by some of the moments like that, but overall I'm interested to see where the show goes for similar reasons to the whole Andor thing.
And at least we're not on Tatooine, at least for the most
For
part.
5 fucking quarters of a second.
I need to tell the listeners this because I told you guys on Sunday, but like the entire scene where he's bargaining with the Jawa, I just realized Jawas are just like space goblins. That's all they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, basically. You're not wrong.
That's not at all wrong.
Space goblins. They deserve to be shot, honestly.
Man, I remember seeing Reddit comments that were like, yo, thank goodness we have these Tatooine sets we set up for the Mandalorians so we can reuse them all the fucking time.
Oh my god, I'm
yeah.
so done. I'm so fucking done. Like, I'm tired of, like, we have literally an entire galaxy, yet they choose to do it on this fucking sand planet.
Like, it's like if someone's like, all right, we're going to film a movie in America, but we're just going to only shoot at, like, LAX.
Yeah, it's true,
I just,
though.
like, for a planet that everyone's like, it's the most insignificant thing in the galaxy. Well, not to the fucking viewer. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm tired. I don't care if this is where the story started. Like, give me something else, please.
Yes, please.
Who watched this?
I just started it yesterday. So my coworker had recommended. We're talking about Midnight Mass on Netflix. It's like
This is a
miniseries.
sudden shift.
And my other friend group has really gotten into the idea of let's just watch these miniseries so we don't have to get roped into these long time commitments because we're already stuck in like 4 other shows that have on again, off again seasons and we never have time to watch anything. So I was like, all right, my coworker keeps bugging me to watch this. So we watched episode 1. It's kind of like a thriller horror mystery that's got this big religious undertone to it. Or not even undertone, it's the theme of it. And from episode 1, it seems pretty interesting. We're probably going to just commit to the full 7 and just see how it plays out.
Wow.
Because it could go either way. From what I've heard, it was decent. Tyler, I feel like you wanted to say something.
Oh no, I was just curious because like Netflix keeps recommending it to me because like the thing looks like it's right up my alley.
It has a.
I haven't actually seen anything for this show.
Like all the
I'm blown away
advertising reminds me of like an 80s like horror thriller kind of thing.
Wow.
It does. The first episode has this weird energy of just like there's something lurking, but like no one's acknowledging anything. And it's if you like that kind of horror, like there was there was like maybe a single frame jump scare, but it was such a minor jump scare that I had to like tell my friend, like, wait, rewind. I couldn't see what they were jump scaring about. Like, it was the most minor thing.
Damn.
But I'll report back during the next podcast because I should have seen at least 2 more episodes by then.
Okay.
And that show was replacing. I don't think I talked about it during the last episode. I know I talked to you guys about it, but I finished watching the show Devs with my other friend group. Again, another 1-season show. This was also like a sci-fi mystery kind of thing, but it was very clearly aimed at like people who think Google is cool and want to know what it's like working at Google, but don't actually want to know what it's like working at Google, and would prefer that Google's making some mysterious software that can predict the future. Is the basic plot line of Devs.
Oh yeah, you told us about this. Yeah.
It was an interesting concept, but the last like 2 to 3 episodes were just like they were just a little too much. Like, I don't want to spoil it. It was interesting. The show thrives on its mystery. Like, if you know what's going to happen, it's not entertaining at all. Was it worth the watch? Maybe. If you like sci-fi mystery, yeah. But if it's not what you like, this is going to be a pretty dumb show to watch.
Mm.
And then the
That
last
was a good at the same time.
Yeah, right. Mm.
Yeah. And then the last one I want to bring up. I watched this movie Synchronic on Friday. It's got the actor who plays Falcon in the MCU. So I guess he's Captain now. I don't know. I don't watch the shit. But he's playing.
He hasn't come up again since that show, so I don't know either.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Maybe he
Yeah,
has in something. Anyway.
He's playing this ambulance worker who they've been dealing with a lot of ODs with this
Ambulance?
one particular. Yeah, what did I say?
Ambulance. Not that movie. No.
Yeah, that's
No,
a good.
no, no,
That's
no.
a good movie. I like that movie.
No, I know. I'm
I
kidding. Sorry.
I thought I said something not.
No.
that wasn't English
I'm fucking
correctly.
around because of the oh my god. Never mind. The movie that was out recently with
Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different. Oh
No,
yeah,
no.
That Michael Bay. Movie
Michael Bay,
you're
thank
talking about.
I was thinking of the Michael Bay movie. Keep going. Ignore me.
Anyway, point is, people are ODing on this new drug, and they're finding that with teenagers, if you have the part of the brain that there's a part of the brain that's soft, that goes from soft to hard as you get older, and because teenagers are susceptible to it when they take this drug, they just fucking time travel. And the main character, 20 minutes in the movie, finds out he has a tumor, and because this tumor, he's affected the same way teenagers are, and he's able to time travel, and he's trying to rescue his friend's daughter who took this drug and now hasn't come back from the trip. And it's a weird movie. It's cool because they use, like, halfway through they use this found footage style to show him, like, experimenting with the drug to time travel.
Hey kids, want to do drugs? You'll time travel.
Yeah, it was a
What a
weird
message.
movie. Like, I read the reviews for seeing it. It was like, it's a cool movie you want to watch once to see its take on time travel, and then never watch this movie again. I'm like, it's gonna be one of these. And then I finished the movie. I'm like, yep, it was one of those. So it was. It's full disclosure, I don't recommend this movie. It wasn't that good. It was a cool concept. It just felt like they couldn't figure out how to end it, and they just, like, really rushed an ending that had like zero payoff. So yeah, that's my take on Synchronic.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah.
That's some Weeb shit.
Yeah.
So, we've been talking about in previous weeks that there's just too much of this, like, fluffy high school anime where there's no plot line, it's the same bullshit over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's just Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie in a Nutshell. So I dropped that, but I was like, you know what?
Oh,
Let's
you
try out
officially
one-
dropped it. Fuck.
So I was like, I needed to make room for another bullshit high school show because I've been seeing constant gifs of this one show, Aharon-san, which looks like it's about this short, quiet, stoic girl and this tall dude who hang out and do meme shit together, like literally Fortnite dancing. So I watched the first 2 episodes, and it's exactly what I just described. It's all just like memes. So it's entertaining because we're not having the same usual just like, are they, aren't they romantic bullshit. Like, this is a romantic comedy and they just got rid of the romance part and it's all just comedy and memes about these 2 friends. So I think the humor holds up. It's adorable. It's not, like, this is not a plot show. There is no plot. There's, like, 3 gags per episode and they're each 8-minute gags. Like, that's just the structure of it. If that sounds like it's up your alley.
Sounds like it's Komi-san.
It's a lot like Homie-san. It's like the starting gimmick is the guy goes to talk to the girl and he can't hear her because she has, like, literally the softest voice possible. So she just keeps getting close to him to talk, and that's how they become friends. But, like, she doesn't have social anxiety. She's just a memer.
Jesus.
Is the best way I can describe this.
I see.
But overall, fun show. I'm I'm gonna continue with it.
It's one of those shows that every time I open Crunchyroll to watch something else, it's one of the first things they throw, and I'm like, yeah, if I wanted to, I could just sit down and watch that.
The problem is that it looks so bland at first glance.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I couldn't put my finger on it until I got to the episode 2, and then I realized the main girl, she has the same face as Rin from Laid Back Camp.
Oh,
same
shit.
eyes and everything. I'm like, damn, that's why this looks so familiar. Which is weird, because it's not the same studio.
That's funny. Oh, now I just want to watch more of that.
Anyway, let's talk about another anime that I know you watched, Tim.
Yeah, so for reasons that I'll get into at the very end of this podcast, I've been spending a lot of time at home with my wife lately. And she has been up some very late nights for the last 2 weeks. Last week and a half, I should say. Whoa. She's been churning through a bunch of shows, and we've been seeing on Netflix this show Vampire Garden, which was like this 5-episode one-shot series of this vampire show. And, Vanitas isn't going right now, so Val needs her vampire fix. So, and Freeman, I think you said you hadn't heard about this, but it was like Studio Wit did this? So,
Yeah, I think Wit worked on it.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild. So Val was like, screw it, I'll give it a try. And 2 nights ago, she watched 2 episodes, and then when we met up again the next morning, she went, Tim, we should watch this together. You'll like this world building. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, another recommendation from Val that if I said she should watch, she wouldn't, but I'll watch it. And honestly, it's pretty good. It's another one of those, vampires crossed over with a little bit of technology kind of setups.
Is it supposed to be modern times?
No, it's kind of... It's... honestly, if there was an actual Vanitas... It's almost Vanitas-esque. There's guns in it and stuff like that, but there's not magic. It's one of those darker things. It's almost like a Castlevania-esque thing where vampires...
But there's technology, but it feels like a fantasy world.
So it's almost... Okay, this is going to sound crazy. If you crossed Attack on Titan and Vanitas, obviously not as good as Attack on Titan. Not trying to set expectations
You mean in
here.
terms of tone, not in terms of hype.
No joke. So it's vampires die to this green light, which I'm guessing is UV light. Humanity only exists behind a walled city that they call the City of Light because they have spotlights on every inch of this city, and when vampires attack, they shine those spotlights. And it's all of humanity is only supposedly left behind this wall. And that's the premise, and it's cool because they have all this image. It's almost like Alan Wake imagery of this giant fuck-off lighthouse of UV, this giant UV lighthouse rotating over this city in the icy north. And it's about a girl who hates that it's literally a war society. Why do we have to fight each other? Yada yada. And the queen of the vampires who's like, yo, I'm kind of fed up with being the figurehead of these genocidal vampire assholes. And things happen from there as you might expect. But
shenanigans ensues.
Honestly, the first 2 episodes were pretty good. I'll probably finish this with Val. I don't know when. It's not a seasonal show. It's all on Netflix already. It's 5 episodes and just done. It's not like weekly Komi-san or anything. It's just done already. But I'm going to finish this and maybe recommend it. But it's been, honestly, a pretty interesting and pretty well done first 2 episodes. There's no, mega surprises, but it is just well done, so we'll see.
Gotcha. I'm always hesitant to watch vampire shows on Val's recommendation.
I understand, and that's why I'm watching it. To be fair, Vanitas was decent, like I said. I never tried to set the expectation for Vanitas too high.
I was told it was the greatest show ever made.
Yeah, I didn't say that. That's what I'm saying.
You didn't say it.
Yeah, but Freeman, I specifically said I target my recommendations.
Gotcha.
And I will report back when this is done on how good I think this is. Honestly, if we finish this early enough, maybe I'll end up watching an episode with Val before bed. But anyway, yeah, Vampire Garden, I might, by next time, I'll probably have an idea by next time on how it all is.
Nice.
Friedman,
let's close out the anime saga here.
Let's close out Anime Saga with a real fucking saga, because...
Hold on, wait, but before you mention the title, I want to look up when my actual official start date for the show was, so I can tell you how long it took me to get through this.
So we have been watching a show for a long time, based on mine and Tyler's recommendation from when we were younger. Tyler wasn't watching, but when Val was not around, the one time Friedman and I were talking, probably over 2 years ago, what show to watch together when it was the three of us hanging out and Val wasn't online or whatever. And that show is Trigun. One of the only good things to come out of that show.
Damn. I mean...
So, hold on, listeners, I need to tell you my saga with Trigun here. There's a little backstory, then I'll get to our recent watch, but it was
recent year-long saga.
Times,
we took less time playing most of our longest D&D games than we fucking took to finish Trigun.
Oh, come on. It only took us, like, 2.5 years to finish Trigun.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sounds about right.
No, wait. It had to have been less, because we started it at my current apartment, and I've been here for less than 2 years.
You sure we didn't start it online?
Or did we start it at your dad's house?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, because Val was there for the first ones.
But did we ever watch at my old apartment is the question.
I don't remember. Either way, so you finished Trigun finally.
So Trigun. Flashback to college years for me. So this is pushing 10 years past. And I keep seeing like posters of Trigun. I see artwork of Trigun. I'm like, damn, this show looks like it's badass as fuck. Let me watch episode 1. The date is October 8th, 2012. I watch episode 1 of Trigun and say, that wasn't what I was expecting at all. And I closed my laptop and didn't touch Trigun again for the longest time.
Damn.
And then Tim brings it up, and I was like, oh, it's one of those classic Toonami shows I've just never seen. And you're just like, you've never seen Trigun? We're watching this now. And I think the intent was to get me and Val to both enjoy it.
Yes.
But like within 30 seconds, Val was just tuned out.
Nope.
Whereas I was just like, this is the same aesthetic I remember being caught off guard by, but like I'm not as concerned with it now. I'm curious if everyone loves this show so much, it's got to be worth the watch. Let's do this.
Val straps us to the chair to watch.
To watch what?
And then she straps us to the chair to have us watch what she wants.
Well,
look,
yeah.
Except
because Val wants to watch so little, Tyler.
Except for Bonus, which I haven't liked. Most of her recommendations are pretty spot on for me. I'm still getting through Ranking of Beans, and the show is still a banger.
Friedman, I wanted to ask you about that because I was listening to my favorite intro from that show again. Have you watched any more? Have you heard the second opening and outro enough times?
Yeah, I'm on episode 16, so I've heard the new intro outro like 4 or 5 times at this point. And it's growing on me, but my statement still stands that it's not that it's a bad song, but it's like I could imagine this being the opening for like the next season of Haikyuu.
I've never said that it's unique.
It's like that. My only problem is that opening 1 feels more unique to me.
Sure, it is.
I don't
not as good.
After listening to it enough, opening 2 might probably be the better song.
Yes.
And probably the full version is probably really good.
Yes.
But it feels anime opening-y, whereas the first one is like this feels like a TV show theme. Either way, opening 2 is still a banger.
Anyway, back to so we still haven't talked about your opinion of Trigun.
Anyway, so Trigun. So the problem is, I'm gonna keep beating around the bush here. The last time I watched a Toonami show that I missed out on, it was Outlaw Star, and I felt exactly the same way. I watched it, the aesthetic was cool, and I was just like, where was the story going this whole time? And I felt sort of the same way with Trigun. The show looked cool, it felt cool, but when you go and you look at the story elements, it's just kind of like, hold on, what are you trying to tell me? Trigun was it was all over the place. It's how do I put this? It's a product of its time. If you want to enjoy that late 90s, early 2000s, before anime all looked the same in 2003, when you still had that hand-drawn edge to it, Trigun captures that style and that energy. But you have to accept that it's just like a lot of other anime from that time, where the story isn't that important. You're here to watch cool characters look cool in cool settings. Cool characters looking cool in cool settings. I'm trademarking that right now. That's the aesthetic for Toonami anime.
And
anyway, overall,
unfortunately, Trigun...
It wasn't a bad watch, but like it wasn't spectacular. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I went down to a 5. Rewatching this, I had so many fun thoughts. One of my favorite D&D... I just finished Tyler's D&D game where my character's codename was fucking Wolf... Some fucking Trigun.
It
and
really
man,
recontextualized your character when I finally met him in the show.
And man, rewatching this show, I was like, boy, to young teenage Tim who'd seen almost no anime, those few scenes were the coolest shit ever. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of boring, dumb shit that makes no sense that happens in this fucking show.
Yeah, there's never anything that makes sense.
You know that phrase, the phrase "don't meet your heroes," right?
I know.
Every time I rewatch any episodes of Dragon Ball Z, like original, I'm reminded, like, oh, good
See,
lord.
but even with, like, Gundam Wing, I have enough love of it and recognize its faults and still have a good time watching it. Trigun, I was like, man, what the fuck is the point of this story at all? Like, why are we doing
it's
any
a bit
of this?
rough. A bit rough.
Like, why did it take so long to just go kill Knives? It was literally the whole... And then he doesn't even kill him! Like, what is the point of the show?
That's right, no resolution.
There's nothing. Like, I don't know, like, it's just, it was frustrating rewatching Trigun. I will never watch the show, and I honestly don't know if I'll ever recommend it to anybody. Unless they're like, I need a 90s as fuck show for no reason. I'll be like, sure, Trigun, I guess.
Oh, there's plenty of those that are better than Trigun.
Sure, but I don't know them. Trigun's one of the only anime I watched in the 90s, or not even 90s, in the early 2000s on Toonami. I wasn't a Dragon Ball kid. I only watched it fucking Freedom, at Huberman's house was when I got introduced to Dragon Ball.
Obsessed with that show.
Yeah, I was over at his house like twice. Tyler, I didn't watch
even a boy.
Tyler, I was
Sure?
much more of a Nickelodeon kid around that time.
What the fuck? But like, you watched everything though. You had to have.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What my time? I watched everything.
Tyler, I didn't watch everything.
Everything. Wow, you're lame.
What? Tyler, I didn't
You're
pick the
lame.
TV.
How do you figure?
Tyler, I was in one
I'm
house
gonna
with
agree with
one
Tim on this.
TV.
Outside
And-
of Dragon Ball, I didn't watch a lot of the Toonami stuff until I went through my anime phase in high school, where I had to watch them on streaming services, not on Toonami.
You want to know what else? In fucking
Random
high school,
random
Tyler, I had a 5-year-old sister whose favorite thing to do was watch the same fucking movie every day on her one family TV.
Damn, maybe I was
We were
privileged.
deprived
Maybe you
children.
were privileged.
Maybe
Yeah,
I was
Tyler,
privileged to
you're
have a
privileged showing
TV.
here.
Did you have your own
Yeah.
TV?
I did.
Tyler,
Oh
I
my
didn't
God.
have my own TV until I was living in Ohio.
Damn, I fought tooth and nail to get one junior year.
Kevin and
That's
I never had a TV in our room ever. My only thing that was my own
Damn.
was my computer, and that was when I went to when I got my laptop before college. Before that, I never
Damn.
had a screen of my own.
You know what the kicker that
Damn.
allowed me to get a TV was?
What?
My parents were mad at how loud me and my friends were when we played Smash Bros. So they're like, take it upstairs.
I didn't have friends over. I just played Halo single player, and that was it.
Yeah,
I didn't have.
Nintendo gang, let's go.
I had friends
Damn.
over like 3 times in my life to play video games.
Yeah, I don't know what caused it. My parents were just like, whatever, here, have a TV in your room.
Yeah, I'm
like, all right.
Like
And
I
it
said,
started with they bought a new TV, and they're like, well, we don't want to get rid of our old TV, so here you go.
Tyler, you know what
I'm
happened
like,
when we bought a
like-
second TV?
You throw it out.
My parents replaced their TV in their bedroom with it, and then threw out the other one.
Damn, that's fucked up. That's when you were supposed to get the TV because you're the oldest.
Except I shared a room with the middle child, so there was no room for a TV in our room.
Yeah,
How does it
that's
feel being related to war criminals here?
Right?
Anyway, we're so far off track.
Sorry, yeah, it's a Trigun. It was okay. If you like that aesthetic, watch it. Don't expect some glorious 10 out of 10 material here.
Freeman, I thought you said we were done with anime.
We're done with anime. Because I'm about to talk about the book I'm reading.
Oh, shit.
The book I'm reading. This
Number
motherfucker.
5.2, Interstellar Mountainous City, Olympus, the day to bring down gods. That's right. The now...
Wait, hold on. Is
18th
that why you
chapter
put
of
it down next to books? Is that why?
Yes. So
son of a
want to read a section. So I'm playing Fate Grand Order like I do every single day, and I'm going through the story chapter, which came out almost a month ago. And I'm at the point in the story where we've killed our 3rd consecutive god using a theoretical laser. Just let that sink in. That's very Fate.
Wow.
So I'm through this and I'm like, I've been playing through this story chapter for almost a month now. Like, when does it end? And I got past like the big boss fight of the chapter. I'm like, all right, cool. It's gonna wind down, right? And I look
Can
at
I
a
just
guide
say,
online to figure
hearing
out how
the
much is
phrase
left, and I
boss
see
fight of
that
the
the way the game
chapter.
was broken down is it used to always be like, you read a little bit of story, then there's a fight, and then a while ago they're like, we don't need a fight after every story bit. We can just have story parts where you're only reading. And I looked up, what's the next section I have to look at? And it's like, it's story only. It's a 25-minute read. I'm like, it's kind of long for a mobile game. What about after that? Is it short? I'm like, no. It's like 7 consecutive story sections that are at least a half hour to read. And I'm like, how long was the story part of this chapter? Like, removing all the gameplay. And I looked it up online. The story section for half of a chapter of part of a larger gacha game story is 11 and a half hours of text reading only. So yes, I put Fate Grand Order in the book section this week.
Yeah.
Nah, that makes sense.
I realized, like, I
makes
spent
sense.
a whole afternoon trying to catch. I'm like, I haven't done a single like gameplay thing. I've been reading all afternoon in this game.
That
Literally a
makes
visual
sense.
novel.
All right, it's literally a book.
Like, do you remember when we were on the train to Val's bachelorette party, and I showed you that meme picture of someone showing the printed text version of the chapter that comes after this one, chapter 6 of FGO
yes.
Lost Belt. That one is like, it's 3 times as long as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and that's one story chapter out of a larger
Jesus.
gacha game storyline. And
That's fucked.
next summer, and it's going to release in 3 parts, each 3 weeks apart, to give people enough time to read it, supposedly. Knowing my reading speed, it's going to take me like half a year to get through Lost Belt 6. But point is, Fate Grand Order is basically a book now, with some gameplay elements.
Is it good?
So, currently, the current story chapters are actually really good. The last 3 releases have been phenomenal. The problem is the first, 5 chapters of Fate Grand Order were released during a period of time where they didn't think the game was going to last more than a year, and it was just purely a cash grab. So the story for the first couple chapters suck. And then there's this sudden moment where they're like, this game's going to go long. Like, get the original writer back in and have him write the next story. And then once you get to the chapter where you go to Jerusalem and just Camelot is there, is the plot of this one story chapter. And it's just how the Knights of the Round Table are murdering everyone. It was a wild chapter. It was the first time the story was actually good. But, if you sit down and play through Fate Grand Order to get to that point, you're going to be sitting there for, 6 hours of nonsensical plot lines, then suddenly fighting dragons because every story element has to end with a gameplay section. So, something they're not addressing, because with Fate Grand Order, you can't replay the early story chapters. You can go through the story part without the gameplay. There's no, interest for them to rework the beginning of the game because no one experiences it again. But it's a huge hurdle for new players. But the new material's all, really, really good. So, it's weird. I just, I don't recommend Fate Grand Order to people. It's weird. I love this game, but, it's just not worth getting into.
Damn.
Plus,
11 fucking hours.
it's gacha. It's hell you're walking into. I wouldn't wish that on my greatest of enemies.
All right.
Let's talk about actual books.
Actual books. I read one book, and then I listened to another book. So, the first thing being Kings of... Wait, what?
I would say which one was the listen and which one was the read.
So I read with Michelle Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. It's actually pretty funny. It's a comedy action, your classic take on tongue-in-cheek of medieval fantasy. That's totally based on D&D parties or whatever.
Standard fantasy tropes kind of, but it's
it's your
comedic take on it.
Yeah, it's the comedic take on it, and it revolves around this guy who is a part of one of the most famous, if not famous, band of mercenaries at the time, and they refer to everybody in this world as a band, almost like if they're a boy band or something like that. They reference them as going on tour and stuff like that. It's kind of funny, but basically the premise is his friend from his from his group shows up and is like, hey, my daughter is a part of her own mercenary band, and she's held up in this city over here, and they're all being held siege by this horde. I know there's a horde there, and you might die, but I need you to come with me so I can get the band back together and save my daughter. And at that point,
Phenomenal setup.
yeah, at this point, it's a pretty good hook, right? Because the main character, like, because they're all old at this point, they're all middle aged and everything. But the main character's like he has his own like family and everything. He has a job as like a watchman, and like him and his wife want to like own an inn and everything. And he wants to like establish himself and have like a quiet life. And then this thing shows up, and he's like, "All right, I guess I'm doing this again, hopefully for the last time." And they go through a bunch of shenanigans. It's
Wow.
pretty good. Yeah, it's funny. I really enjoyed it. Michelle and I kind of both agreed with the ending, though. Like, there were some things that were kind of like lackluster, but overall, it's a pretty entertaining read. And we started the sequel, Bloody Rose, which I won't go into it because the actual thing is a spoiler in itself almost. But if you're into that kind of like tropey fantasy, medieval fantasy kind of thing, I would definitely give it a try. It's short. It's a short book too. It's like 400 some odd pages.
Cool.
Yeah. So. Oh, whoops! I accidentally mute myself.
Whoops.
Yeah, I would give it a shot though.
Nice. What about the other one?
What about the listening?
Sorry, I got some interference. Some outside interference. So I listened to Mistborn, the first book in the first Mistborn trilogy, called The Final Empire, and that's also by Brandon Sanderson, and that also takes place in his Cosmere universe. So like, it goes hand in hand with like the other books I talked about on this show, like with Elantris and what's it called, like the Stormlight Archives, like those books. And it revolves around this girl. She's a thief by trade. She always thought she had something like, weird with her. Turns out there is something weird with her. She has special powers, and this guy shows up and shows her the ropes, while at the same time they're basically trying to kill God. It's Final Fantasy, really. It's Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
No, literally, yeah. They wasn't a. There's this guy. He's basically like he's the Lord Ruler, they call him, and he's at least 1,000 years old. And the guy who takes the main character in, he has this wild cockamamie plan of, I want to kill him, but at the same time I want to topple the government, right? So they have this whole like half-brain scheme to do it. It's mostly like a heist book. Overall, I thought it was like all right. I thought it's weird. Like, have you ever like you guys have probably seen stories where like, oh, the stuff they do is cool, but the story there's a lot left to like be desired, right?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And when I mean that, I think it mostly fell flat in its characterization. Like, Sanderson did a pretty good job with like a lot of his characters later on. Like, I read a lot more of his like later work, but like apparently Final Empire was like one of his like first books, and people kind of know this. And Michelle and my old roommate Trevor recommended this series to me, so that's why I started listening to it. I was like, fine, whatever. Oh, both of them and another buddy of mine, all of them have been recommending this, and I told them straight up, I was like, I don't think this bangs, honestly. Like, I think there's some cool things about it. Like, there's some cool shit that pops off, but like, it doesn't bang like the Stormlight Archives does. And their response to me personally, I'm not a big fan of, like, you guys know how I feel about stuff like this, but they're like, nah, you can't take the first book for what it is. Like, I was like, they all said it, which is really funny because it's not like they talk or anything like that, but they all said, I don't really count the books separately. I count the entire trilogy as one book. And to me, I'm just like, that sounds a little bit fucky.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Because, like, I don't know, like, there's a significant jump between the first book and the second one. I mean, it's not that significant. It's a year, but it's enough for me to consider, like, okay, like, clearly there's a whole nother idea. Like, the first book is clearly revolved around or not politics, like this heist of toppling the empire, and then the second book is all about politics. At least that's what it's setting up as. I'm like, I think 6 hours through through the second book already. Out of I don't know, like 17. I don't know. I
Jeez.
can't remember. Listen, it's not like what's it called? Stormlight Archives, where that shit was like, I forget how long those were. They were in the tens though. They were it was a lot, or maybe not. I think it was 20. I think it's 20 for these books. It was like close to 50 for some of these Stormlight Archive books. Imagine that,
Wow.
50 hours of just listening to shit. Like, but it was fine because at least it was fine when I was in security, because like I would just walk around for like at least 4 to 5 hours a day constantly, right? So like
Wait, hold on. Quick
I can
question.
just listen to that. Yeah,
How many books are in the Stormlight Archive series?
there are currently 4.
Okay.
Yeah, Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, and the most recent one was Rhythm of War.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there are currently 5 books in the Mistborn series. And then there's some other shit that he has in the Cosmere stuff. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'll get back to you guys on the second one, which is called Well of Radiance. Or Well of Ascension, sorry, Well of Ascension.
Damn.
Yeah, Well of Ascension, and then the last one is what's it called? Something Hero. Oh, the Hero of
Hero of
Ages.
Ages.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, so you're looking it up, yeah.
I have the wiki open now.
Yeah, Hero of Ages. So we'll see. Like I said, I think the first one didn't put me off enough to not want to read the second one. I was like, okay, like I'll take Trevor and Michelle's word for it. I'll continue. But yeah, so that's it. And I'm still reading 7 Habits for Highly Effective People by Stephen A. Covey.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't really want to read it. But this is supposed homework that I have to finish, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Yeah, I mean, people out there, if you like self-help books, like, this does have some merit to it. There's a lot of repetition, but if you're into that sort of thing. That's about it. That's all I got.
So, just to round it all out, because all of us worked on I've worked on a bunch of shows that are currently airing and stuff, so not worth talking about until our seasonal wrap up in probably like 2 podcasts from now. But there has been one big addition in the Tim world. I've talked for a while on the podcast about my wife being pregnant. Not last Friday, but 10 Fridays ago, as of this record, or 10 Fridays, Jesus, 10 days ago. On Friday, May 20th, my son was born, Henry Gideon Northrop. And,
the Halo theme right now.
Yeah, I know. As these guys would say, the chief has arrived.
Chief.
But no, we've been, my wife and I have been busy learning to be parents. Unfortunately, I'm actually going back to work tomorrow, so I don't get to spend all day with the little guy anymore. But it's been a wild ride, on top of me not having an office for probably another month or 2. So no idea when I'll be back on my normal computer to do things like record Elden Ring or record anything at all other than the podcast. But yeah, so things are kind of in flux right now. Still gonna do the podcast. We're still hanging out with these guys. We're still watching anime. So, but yeah, so that's it's pretty exciting to actually be a dad finally. Things are definitely different, but some things are still the same. And Tyler's just gonna have to deal with us still hanging out with him, even though he constantly.
What? Just because I've
Hashtag
seen
cancel
it.
Tim.
Just because I've seen it 100 times. All right, you know, I know what I'm talking about. I know what the hell I'm talking about.
But yeah, so I that's what's been going on. That's part of why I'm still working on our house and everything like that, and I'm going back to work tomorrow. So there's a lot going on in my life right now. So I'm not really playing anything at all. I haven't gotten to play a video game at all recently, but yeah, we're still watching anime, still watching shows, and learning how to be parents, and we'll raise our little weeb, I guess.
Yeah,
he's already been in the room for plenty of anime, so.
Then you got bad influences like us.
Damn.
It's
But
true.
yeah, so.
Imagining all the Weeb children whose parents are watching Spy Family being like, "This is us."
Hashtag Hank in the comments, everybody.
Oh God.
Yeah, Michelle was getting slightly upset. She's like, Tyler, call him Henry, and I was like, the fuck I am.
Tyler was like,
Dang it! I tell you what, his name is Hank.
It's the meme from what's it called? Oh my God, no. Oh, Tom and Jerry.
Oh no. Oh.
The picture.
I can't remember.
No, yeah, the picture. It's just the picture of Tom from Tom and Jerry, where he's just like it's the meme of him going, no.
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. No. I'm telling you, I'm just when he gets older, right? When I come in, I'm like, "Yo, what up, Hank the Tank? What's good?"
Oh
and
my
I
God.
hit him with the fist bump. Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's been going on. That's what's been busy, and it's about to get even busier with me going back to work. But yeah, so little Henry is top priority these days. So yeah. But,
Hank the Tank.
Oh my God. All right. So with that, we'll be back in 2 weeks with probably a little bit of news. I don't know. Like I said, like we talked about, not a lot of anime ending by then, but who knows what the schedule is going to look like? Things are always up in the air. We got relatives visiting, things going on, baby to take care of. So who knows? But until next time, wow. Until next time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.